All right, welcome everybody. It feels a little flat. I feel like maybe we talked about getting some sort of announcer. I think we have one, don't we, Ryan? Play the intro. Let's hear it. I haven't heard this yet. Go for it. My buddy did this.
Live on YouTube from the
One more time.
One more time.
Run it back.
South Point Casino Studios, Las Vegas, Nevada. The ultimate sports comedy show that talks sports, comedy, and a whole lot of Pittsburgh. This is Punchlines with your hosts, Ryan McCormick and Frank Nicotero.
Yeah, my name goes before yours.
What the hell's that? All right, that was done by my friend Bob Delmont, WPOC in Baltimore. He's my oldest friend. I met him in 6th grade. Why is your name first?
Thanks, Bob.
Ryan McCormick, and then he trails on by Ryan McCormick and Frank Nicotero.
Want to hear it again?
Yeah, play it one more time. I want to hear it. Graham wants to hear it. We didn't hear it on the floor. Here we go.
Live on YouTube from the immaculate South Point Casino Studios, Las Vegas, Nevada. The ultimate sports comedy show that talks sports, comedy, and a whole lot of Pittsburgh. This is Punchlines with your hosts, Ryan McCormick and Frank Nicotero.
What the hell is that? Why am I second? This is my... I'm on the title. There's no Ryan
That's why I should go first in the.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
You're about to be a father.
Goodness
This is
gracious.
probably the most awkward opening of a show ever, of all time,
Just a little
probably.
bit.
And
Yeah,
I have a
just a
friend
little
here, and I'm trying to look good in front of him, and this shit happens. You swore, I swore, everyone's swearing. Let's do a usual opening. Hello, I'm Frank Nicotero, and welcome to Punchlines. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan. And apparently Ryan's the star of the show, which is probably how Karl Anthony Towns felt last night, right? Why do you ask? Oh, well, let's take a look at this graphic here. Karl Anthony Towns had 62 points last night.
That he did. Yeah.
Big game.
44 in the first half.
44 in the first half. So what happened? How did it go downhill?
Well, they started to collapse in the fourth quarter. They got doubled up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They ended up benching him with like 3 or 4 minutes to go in the game because the offense was running so poorly that the offense was just trying to force feed Cat and get him to, I don't know, 70,
sort of
80,
number, right.
whatever they were trying to get him to.
Right.
And then the coach goes on a rant post-game that they're disrespecting basketball.
Right.
That's not how you should play it. And then they benched him, put him back in with like 30 seconds left. He ended up trying to take the game-winning shot for them, got it blocked by Leaky Black. Shout out North Carolina.
Yeah, Leaky Black.
And then, so...
Also, there was a video of Leaky Black hitting his first ever free throw in the
getting his first points. Yeah.
And the announcer went nuts. But
Yeah, that was... the game-winning points.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
After the block, he had the...
So anyway, he only had 4 points in the
it.
fourth. Karl Anthony Towns, 62. So he figures, I'm going to be the lead on SportsCenter because I scored 62 points. Oh, no, not so fast, because Joel Embiid dropped 70 for the Sixers last night on the anniversary of Kobe's 81, which we talked about yesterday. There's his line. He had 44 in the first half.
That's Cat.
Oh, that's Cat. Sorry, he had
Cat.
how many in the first? Oh, his second half was huge.
He had 35 in the first half and in the second half.
Okay, he split it.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
Equal.
18 and 5, which had never been done before. 70 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists. Unbelievable line by Joel Embiid. I mean, the guy...
A full stat sheet stuffer. He had a block, a steal, and 2 fouls.
He stuffed it. That's what they love doing, man. And he got all the... And he did it over Wemby. Wemby had like 33 points. His day will come, but Embiid right now is in his prime. And that was the highest point total since the 64 scored by Giannis Antetokounmpo, not Giannis. Chris Andrews, I pronounced the Greek name right. Our sportsbook director is Greek, so I got lectured when I said Giannis. It's Giannis.
Yes,
Right.
Giannis.
Speaking of Giannis Antetokounmpo,
Yes, the Bucks.
he's the captain of the second seed in the Eastern Division right now. They're 30-13, but what happened today?
They fired their head coach.
They just fired their head coach, and is this true that Bill Belichick is going to go host? He's going to go coach now.
Yeah, he's going to go coach that Bucks.
Or Harbaugh? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah, they're going to give him enough money. Yeah,
I think they're interviewing Belichick right now, and he's going to become the. Wouldn't that be hysterical? He just
moves over to basketball. Yeah, no.
roaming the sidelines. No. Assistant coach Matt Patricia with the pen in the hair. Triangle. Oh, that's Chicago. We'll get to that. Anyway, so no, they fired their coach. There has to be more to this story coming out.
I mean, there must be, but yeah, Adrian Griffin, first-year head coach.
First year.
30-13 record, and they fire him.
That would be like firing me after this episode, right?
We don't have 13 losses.
Right.
We have no losses.
We have nothing but winners. All bangers. There's maybe 2
Undefeated.
clunkers out of 72 shows.
No, undefeated.
Undefeated. We're undefeated. Anyway, that's very odd. And so Bill Belichick, apparently we were charting as there's a private plane heading to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He's going to coach them and the Packers.
Suck.
It's going to be, and by the way, Graham, our guest who's coming in soon, Watch what happens when I say the words Green Bay. Green Bay
Sucks.
sucks. He has to say sucks because he's Chicago. We'll
That's
get to a
how
lot
I
of
was
Chicago.
taught the right way.
By the way, Jerry's not here today, so am I free to say Pittsburgh?
I told you you'd mention it.
He's what?
I asked Ann before the show how long would it take you to realize that Jerry was gone.
It took 5 minutes.
Yeah. It was the first time you mentioned Pittsburgh, though, so I was right on that.
On the show today, live in the studio, he's the host of the Government Secrets podcast with Lee Camp, and he has a new comedy special out called Manifest It on All Things Comedy. Graham Elwood would be here. I haven't seen him in years until, well, I'm going to let you in on a little showbiz secret. We've already seen each other. But anyway, it's been a while, and I watched a lot of his special yesterday. It's great, and that's on YouTube, I believe. We'll get to all this with Graham. And then via the video from Rampart Casino, Duane Colucci.
Colucci.
You have to do Colucci anytime we mention Colucci. Today is January 23rd, 2024, episode 73, which according to Sheldon Cooper is the Chuck Norris of numbers, because I always like to Google that. I've never really watched Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
Do you watch that show? You kind of look like you probably watch that show.
Oh, really?
With the glasses on and the tie, you look like you might watch it.
Thanks. I mean,
now,
I've
if you come see me at the Laugh Factory when you got your hat backwards and you're dressed like a b-boy, then I'd say, no, this guy's never seen it.
A b-boy?
A b-boy. Showing my age. A b-boy. Anyway, Ryan, well, that's what you looked. You looked like, a b-boy. Just Google b. Remember b-boys? Wasn't that like for people who dress fly?
Oh.
I'm going to move on. Jesus Christ. All right. Anyway, so Sheldon Cooper, his favorite number is 73. 73, why? It's the 21st prime number. Its mirror, 37, is the 12th, and its mirror is 21, and that's the product of multiplying 7 and 3. This is why I never watched Big Bang Theory. Don't understand any of that. Then he gets into something with the binary. In binary, 73 is a palindrome, 1001-001, which backwards is the same, and Chuck Norris backwards gets you Saran Kucic. And that show ran for how many years? Good coach. He's talking. It's a hidden message for you Bulls fans. I don't know. I never watched. I saw one episode on a plane once, and I wanted to jump out of the plane. No, I'm joking. Anyway, so Sheldon Cooper, there you go. He's got the 73. He wore the shirt all the time. So there we are. 73. We usually do a collage of athletes that wore the certain number of our show, Graham, but we're going to wait till 75 because there's really all just linemen, and it's boring. But at 75, we know who's coming. Hall of Famer, Mean Joe Green.
Kyle Long.
All right. It is time now for Posts with Punchlines. This is where we comb social media to find fresh posts and write punchlines. We comb the net because it's our job to save you time. We got to go to Buffalo again. We led with Buffalo. And the little play on words there is Buffalo, L-O-W. They're feeling very low. Got to feel bad. There was just an abundance. Now, we had a lot yesterday. They're replaying the game right here on the NFL Network in front of me. And poor Buffalo. They really, but again, they disrespected the terrible towel. Here's this guy in a bar. Someone put on the jukebox a Taylor Swift song. So they're playing Shake It Off right now. Here are these guys, Taylor Bass with the F man. He will go, he ruined my life. A place kicker ruined his life.
Yeah, you?
Of course, Family Guy.
No, not my first time.
Sorry, Bears fans. Yeah, you've had kickers in your life. Now, this is Gabe Davis, right?
Yep.
Who didn't start in the game. He was injured. He's a free agent. And he was mouthing off to, I think, Buffalo fans who were sitting behind that bench, right?
Yeah, they were giving him crap.
Like, you can't even run a route.
Yeah.
He torched the Steelers, though, but it looks like he's walking pretty okay. Then Von Miller, you sent me this, he made $14.9 million, no sacks, 5 tackles in 14 games. That's almost $3 million a tackle. This is the Chiefs bus coming into the stadium, getting pulverized by snowballs.
I don't really think it's the Chiefs bus because I don't think they'd be wearing
Let's
them
go with it's the
like
Chiefs
that.
bus, Ryan. We scoured the
Maybe
net.
a fan bus.
And then this is great. So Josh Allen, these are the playoff victories for Josh Allen. He beat Phil Rivers on his farewell tour.
Lamar Jackson getting hurt in the third quarter.
Beat Mason Rudolph, and then Skylar Thompson from
Miami.
By the way, if someone would have said who is Skylar Thompson, I did not. That was last year, right?
Yep.
That Skylar Thompson was the Miami quarterback. That's like one of those forgotten names. So what they were trying to say there is Josh Allen hasn't beaten much in the playoffs. I really want to see that Buffalo Lions, but we got to stick with the Super Bowl logo. The colors are there. The colors are purple and red, so we're assuming it's going to be the Ravens and the Niners. And by the way, the line is still – so Baltimore's still minus 3.5, over under 44.5. And San Francisco crept back up to 7, 51.
Yep.
Yesterday it was 6.5. Chris Andrews was in here. That's big, 6.5, 7. If you want the underdog, take it now. Get that 7 points. But if you think Frisco's going to win, which, by the way, you're never supposed to say Frisco, I'm told. To someone from San Francisco, they hate that. It's like calling a fraternity a frat.
How far will it move, though? Like, jumping on the 7 now, is it really going to move up to 9 or move to 8 or 9? I know George Kittle was on the Pat McAfee show this morning, and he was all fired up that people are giving Brock Purdy a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I saw that.
That he isn't the guy, that you need to be this big athlete to do all these different kinds of things, and like, what's wrong with an underdog story? And so I think the Niners are going to start.
So now that Ryan's name is first apparently in the show, he feels like he can swear now, just freely. Is that how this is working?
Giving him crap.
See that? You make him the star of the show, and they just start running away with it. You said SHIT. Your mother's watching. His mother's one of my friends on TikTok. I communicate with his mom often. She likes everything. All right, so let's see. Oh, Josh Allen at least was nice.
Killed my rant.
I thought this was a classy move. Wait, what did I miss?
You killed my rant.
I killed your rant? No, your rant was good. Your rant was good. So anyway, Josh Allen. What was your rant about? I already forgot. Skylar Thompson?
Exactly. Just move on.
Skylar Thompson?
Go ahead with what you want.
What were you talking about?
Nope.
No, it's over. It's done.
It's the Frank Nicotero show.
Yes, I have control back. I don't even know what you were saying. What? I swear to God, my memory's going. Do you have that problem? What were you talking about again? Honestly, please help me.
The Niners adopting the underdog mentality. That was it.
They're not the underdogs. They're the favorites, damn it. Oh, I don't think – you think it's going to maybe go a little lower?
Well, no. I mean, it'll probably toggle right there between the 6.5 and 7 like it did yesterday. So
going to be a good game.
I don't know
Go
if
Lions.
move more.
All right, so we wanted to show one happy thing for Buffalo. Josh Allen, kind of a classy move. Tyler Bass missed the kick, and look, he goes over and shakes his hand. So he's saying one of two things. Hey, man, we got your back. Hey, everyone, none of us won the game. You didn't lose it all by yourself. Or he's shaking his hand saying, see you later, man. It's nice having you on the team. You will not be back.
They were going to give over a minute to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. You don't think they can move down the field and get a field goal themselves?
Yeah. By the way, as soon as they got incomplete on 3rd and 7 or whatever, I looked at the clock, minute left. I'm like, game's over.
Yeah, too much time.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes will come down and win that game. That's what he does.
Everybody giving Tyler Bass heat or Josh Allen heat, like, you have no idea what would have happened there.
Yeah, we do know. You're right, we do know. And speaking of kickers, our favorite Cameron Dicker the kicker. That's his name. That's what he goes by. Here he is. Look at him at a hockey game. This is him at the Ducks game, chugging beers. You put a Charger Bolt over the beer. We shouldn't show alcohol consumption on the show. Look at him. He's giving Jason Kelce a run for his money. This guy, by the way, if you haven't seen it, while you're on YouTube after our show before Sports by the Book today at 3 o'clock.
There you go.
Just Google or YouTube search the video he made trying to get selected to the Pro Bowl. Did he get selected?
No.
I don't think he did. It didn't work. He put together like a law firm, does like wacky videos, and it's hysterical. All right.
Yeah.
So Cameron Dicker, that's 2 days in a row. We featured a current NFL player just housing beers at a sporting event. I love it. And he's a kicker. There you go. There's your kicker next year, Buffalo.
Kickers are people too.
Yeah, they are. And then someone was ranting yesterday all over saying, why are kickers even in the game? Here was their viewpoint, which I thought was interesting. If you were creating the game of football right now, 300-pound linemen, people ramming each other, hitting hard, would you even think of a kicker? Would you even include a kicker in the game? Like, then after all that happens, then a little tiny guy comes out and kicks a ball through the goalpost. You wouldn't if you were creating the game football right now. Let's spend the rest of the show creating the game. All right, here's how I'd start. All right, so anyway.
Our guest on Sports by the Book yesterday does not like kickers either. He was going on a rant
Who
too.
Doesn't like it? The guest?
Yeah, Mark Zeno.
Yeah.
Our guest on Sports by the Book. Yeah, he does not.
Well, it is weird that it comes down, a game it comes down. But, that's the game that was created by Abner Doubleday. What? Our forefathers. You know what? Everyone knows Abner Doubleday did baseball. Dr. Naismith did basketball. No one knows who the hell did football. George Halas, I think. Was it George Halas? It was George Halas. You know what? Our guest is here. I'm going to bring him in right now. I'm bringing him in, Dan. We're doing it live. This gentleman, as I mentioned, is the host of the Government Secrets podcast with Lee Camp. And he has a new comedy special out, which is really funny. And it's on YouTube. Manifest It on All Things Comedy. Graham Elwood is here, ladies and gentlemen. And he's representing Chicago for you, Ryan.
See red.
That's right, baby. Come on. We're the best 3 games under 500 team in the NBA. Who wants a taste?
Well, listen, there's a really good coach out there that just became available, and he's a short drive from Milwaukee.
How? I mean, Donovan, I think he's an okay coach, but he keeps his job, and the guy who's like has a great team that's going to compete for the NBA title.
They're going to be there.
And
I don't understand it. I don't. What do you think? Billy Donovan is the coach of the Bulls, right?
Yeah.
You like Billy Donovan?
I mean, he was okay with the Thunder.
Yeah.
It's been too long, and the Zach LaVine experiment hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Trading for DeMar DeRozan, none of it's working. So there needs to be some kind of
Billy
shakeup.
Donovan played college basketball at Providence for Rick Pitino.
Wow.
Yeah, there's my old man moment of the day.
That's the 1950s.
That is the 50s. It was black and white. They wore the Bob Cousy shorts.
The tights.
And all the footage is really fast, and there's no three-point line. So, Graham, we had a couple more things. I wanted to show you that. Do you like the Lions at all? You probably hate the Lions.
No, actually, honestly, this is the Cub fan in me.
Okay.
Any team that hasn't won in a long, long time,
There you go.
I go. So, I don't like the Packers. I'll never root for the Packers.
Green Bay.
But
Sucks.
I can root for the Detroit Lions. They haven't ever been to a Super Bowl. Last time they won a title was 57.
Yeah.
And it's a great story. And, I've performed in Detroit, and that city's seen some tough
And he's
times.
still alive, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
still
by the way.
alive. You know what I mean? Well, I got a couple of rounds in my shoulder. I need to hold a note when I go through security. But
I was in Detroit doing stand-up. There's 2 bullets still lodged.
they went, Detroit. Okay, you're fine.
You're fine. Come on in.
You're good.
Well, look at this thing. This is a local artist in Detroit did. Carved a lion out of snow.
She's talking about.
Something's going on over there. Anyway, he carved a lion out of snow, and there's a couple of them. He even did one. He dyed it blue, or we hope it's dye. We don't know what it is.
That stuff's exciting. And for me, I would take the Lions and 7 points. I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
And I think probably the Niners will pull it out.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think the Niners are going to roll over them.
No, they got grit. #grit. I like the Lions. Now, this is a weird thing. I grew up in Pittsburgh. I'm a diehard Steeler fan. I had a Detroit Lions bike when I was a kid. There was a catalog, a Wish catalog for Christmas. I was riding around in the neighborhood on my sister's bike, and all my friends would make fun of me because it didn't have the sissy bar or whatever you called those. And I got a Detroit Lions bike. I don't know. I always liked the Lions, but it was blue. It was cool looking. And we'll get to the snow lion. But anyway, I think they're the team of destiny. There it is. Look at this. Someone carved this out of snow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, everybody dyeing their hair blue, right. And I saw somebody's dad is in hospice,
fighting cancer, and he got his hair blue.
I mean, that kind of stuff you root for.
The town rallies around it, and then if they would have lost that home game, that line probably would be yellow. People would piss on it. And then we have one more. So, are you golf at all?
A little.
Not a comics golf. Yeah,
I used to. I was a caddy when I was a lot younger.
Okay,
so that's probably why I'm not that big of a golf fan anymore.
Right. Yeah, you've seen the treatment given. Yeah, I've seen some brutal things happen to caddies. So anyway, this kid from Alabama over the weekend won the PGA Tour event, the American Express.
Okay.
And there's a video of his friends at Alabama watching him. Now, here's the thing. He's a sophomore at Alabama. So watch him roll this in and watch them go crazy. Oh, that's their buddy.
That's cool.
So he wins $1.5 million, but oh, wait, he's an amateur. He can't have the money. So the guy who finishes second, they're like, all right, here's a big check. You get it. Second place guy got the big check. So it's like, you didn't win, but you won $1.5 million. He can't because he's an amateur. But apparently he's doing things that even Tiger Woods didn't even do when it comes down to it. He was the first amateur in the past 90 years, second youngest PGA Tour winner in the past 90 years. It's only 20. The last amateur to win on the PGA Tour, and you remember him, Chick Evans in the 1910.
Chick Evans, who created the Evans Scholarship Program? Wow.
I don't know. Is that really a thing?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Now you is this related to Evanston?
Yeah, I went to Evanston. Yeah.
Does Chick Evans have to do with Evanston?
No, that's John Evans who created Evanston.
Coincidence. You know the name Chick Evans?
Well, a buddy of mine was an Evans scholar. That's why I know so much about caddies. And
oh my God.
Yeah. And when I was a caddy, you had to learn, you had to bow at the altar of Chick Evans.
Then Danny Noonan. This is
and Noonan. Those are the two guys you looked up to.
Yeah, Noonan. Anyway, so he can't win the $1.5 million. And speaking of golf, this will be painful for both Ryan and Graham. We have Aaron Rodgers hitting a hole-in-one. Here's Aaron Rodgers hitting a hole-in-one.
Is it really a hole-in-one, or did he put ayahuasca on it or whatever?
Apparently, this is his first round since he had his surgery. So Aaron Rodgers gets a hole-in-one before completing a pass for the New York Jets.
Here in Vegas.
That was Vegas?
That was here in Vegas.
It was warm weather, obviously.
Because he was here for the Knights Penguins game.
Oh, I thought he was here for some sort of Jimmy Kimmel lawsuit.
Something
like
Kimmel's
that,
from here, and he was performing at the Kimmel Club. He had to go do a set. By the way, I was at the game, the Penguins Knights game, and they showed him, and the crowd went boo, like that. They booed him in Vegas. Why? Because he's just
good.
He's not a good person.
That's why I like Vegas. Vegas, amen, Vegas.
So, Graham, you've hosted game shows.
Yes.
We both have that background. Stand Up Forever. Tell us what's going on and tell us about your special, first of all.
Yeah, my special Manifested. It's out on All Things Comedy.
Yeah.
They're really cool. And, it's I've done several albums and I did one other special before called Live from Afghanistan. But this is my first, in a club. I shot it at Zany's in Chicago where I started. There's a photo of me on the wall when I was 22.
Parachute pants. What wardrobe?
I had acid wash jeans.
Acid wash, yes. Sweater scrunched up. My picture with you is acid wash jeans and a belt, the loop belt. I looped it and then pushed and tucked it down. Remember that, Ann? You put a belt on and then the excess, you'd point it down. Yep.
I had, this is, thank God I was it was a headshot, so you couldn't see the.
Mine was a full body shot. Well, actually a headshot because I'm so short fits into a frame. But
I did have I had a vest over a t-shirt. Right? Thank you.
Dude, the vests were great to wear at a comedy club because you could wear it Thursday and then maybe again Saturday. But I explained this once to Ryan on the show. I would wear a sweater. I'd get all my sweaters. I'd cardigans, a lot of sweater vests, And then people could smoke in the comedy clubs back when we started. So the front row is just, so you get back to the hotel room or the condo or whatever, and you take that sweater and it just reeked of cigarettes.
Dude, I remember opening up my suitcase coming off the road in the 90s and it just smelled like an ashtray.
It was ridiculous. The amount of smoke, no smoke eaters, unlike Vegas where it's always clean, perfect air quality down here at the South Point Casino right behind us. But it was literally, it would just into the clothes. And you're on the road for 2 weeks and you're putting something on one night after you get out of the shower and you smell like a peck of Marlboro.
I washed my hair and gray water would come out. Yeah. No joke. I'm like, this is horrifying.
Gray water?
Yes.
I've never heard that one.
There was so much smoke in my hair.
Oh my God.
This is the 90s. I also had a lot of gel. Probably.
Okay. So, a lot of mousse. Oh, wow. Well, the special's funny. I had it on while I was writing the show last night. It's very funny, and it's on YouTube, right?
It's on YouTube, so if you just go to GrahamElwood.com, you can watch it there, or All Things Comedy's YouTube channel, and
I love it.
It's been a blast, and then I do Government Secrets with my buddy.
Yeah, wait a second. Is this conspiracy, Area 51, stuff like that?
Well,
give us an example, because we have to look for this podcast.
I do it with my buddy Lee Camp,
okay,
and we don't go conspiracies. We do actual stuff that the government has done.
Give us an example of one. I know you've probably done so many.
Well, we've done there's 6 nukes that the United States has lost that are somewhere missing in the bottom of the ocean that we've never recovered. So
it's not like baggage claim in Denver or something.
Yeah,
right? We don't know where it is. Which we've all
the Denver airport,
right? The Denver airport. Which, by the way, they might be under the Denver airport because
exactly
that's where the bomb shelter is, and there's all those signs of apocalypse painted around. You're going to do a deep dive on YouTube when you're having a drink some night. Denver airport. Anyway, sorry.
Wow.
Oh, it's weird. They have the gas masks and there's something going on there.
Yeah, they have all the Illuminati stuff too.
They didn't need an airport. They built a new one. It's 30 miles from anywhere, and apparently it's because, the baggage claim's not done yet. We need another 3 years. Nope. The shelter. And then Obama was in town one day when there was we were at DEF CON 5. Frank Nicotero ranting, conspiracy. All right. So
wow,
anyway.
You need to come on our show.
I will. Just about the Denver airport. You got to do it. So anyway, there's 6 nukes missing somewhere in the ocean.
6 nukes that the United States has lost. So that'll make you rest easy, folks. There's a couple of nukes.
It's in Lake Mead, everyone here in Vegas.
We've covered a lot of CIA operations.
Oh, cool.
They're a matter of public record that most people don't talk about, like Operation Bloodstone, where we backed up ex-Nazis to try to overthrow countries that were communist in the 50s.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's good fun. It's fun stuff. It's a family. It's a family.
What was that line on the Detroit Niners game again? No. So what is your sports at? You're a Chicago fan, so who are you passionate the most? Who are some of your heroes?
I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Cubs fan. I used to live near Wrigley in Chicago, and I was at Game 5 in 2016 when the Cubs were down 3-1 and Lester came and won. So I got to see a World Series game in Wrigley.
Oh, wow.
And then they came from behind. That was awesome. I'm obviously a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
I watched Jordan when I was there. I got to see him live. And I started watching the NBA again 3 years ago when the Bulls made those trades for Levine. And I was like, wait a minute now.
It might be back.
This is something here. And the Bears, well,
right now, wait a second. Now, you guys have the number 1 pick, right? Now Ryan is very passionate about the Bears as well. And you want Justin Fields to stay and you want to trade down. Correct?
What are your feelings?
Okay. I actually agree with that. I think when they were 2-7, I was like, fire everybody and start over. And I'll give Eberflus credit. He is a defensive guy, and you started to see their defense get a lot better. And that for Sweat, That was a great
Montez Sweat.
That was a great pickup in the middle of the season.
From the Commanders.
Yes.
Don't say the old word.
Don't say-
Okay.
They're the Commanders. And, they were okay to watch this year. And, they had 3 games they blew leads in. And you look at them and you go, all right, so maybe that means they're 4 or 5 players away from actually being an 11 or 12 game win season. I like what they get. The offensive coordinators were awful.
Yeah.
They need, and I think keep Fields, because if you keep trading him and people want guys to like come out of college and just win 10 Super Bowls.
That happens like 1 out of 40 times.
I know.
Brock Purdy is kind of an anomaly even at the 7th round pick. But even these number 1 pick, look at Justin Herbert, who's an amazing quarterback. He hasn't won anything. Of course, his coach was a moron. That never helped
what's the kid's name for the Cardinals? I mean, like
Kyler Murray. Yeah,
like all these guys.
A lot of pressure.
This will only be
He's short.
coming up. This season will be Fields' 4th year.
Yes,
right. He needs a better offensive coordinator. Their play calling was maddening.
Yeah,
they had no offensive line. So I agree. Take the first pick, and they need another receiver to DJ Moore.
there you go. Maybe they can trade down and end up with Marvin Harrison Jr. possibly, or the kid from Washington, Oduzuna.
Get either
Rome
Harrison
Odunze?
or whatever.
Yeah, what is that guy? I call him O. Big O.
Big
from
O,
Washington.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, he went to Gorman.
Get him.
Get some offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And then maybe a little more help on D.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're that far away from being a team that like could compete for the division with the Lions.
You got it's right now, and then Jordan Love though with the Green Bay Packers.
Suck.
Yeah, he
Because
looks like
the
he's
mistakes
solid.
that Fields make, I think this year were coachable things you can fix. He'd hold on to the ball too long, or he'd run with holding the ball out there. He wouldn't tuck the ball.
Loaf of bread. I hate when anyone does that.
It does the loaf of bread. That's coachable. But
Yeah.
then he would make some crazy play that was so amazing that literally 3 guys in the league can make. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Mahomes and I'm blanking on the name of the Ravens.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like back foot,
Yeah, he's got a gun and he's got skill. So yeah, that's the same way Ryan's thinking. Keep him, trade down, get him some help.
Well, just because I know that Washington and New England are going to, if we don't draft the quarterback at 1, they're going to give us whatever we ask for in order to get the guy that they want.
They want Caleb Williams.
So
probably.
we can trade down at least once there. So if we trade to 2, we can trade to 3 because they're going to want to move up past whoever wants to get JT Daniels if they want them above Drake May.
Right.
Then we can also, so that's at least 2 picks outside of our own in the first round next year. You can maybe get a pick in 26, and if you draft in 2025, you can trade one of those picks for another first round pick. Like if you trade this pick now, you can have first round picks for the next 5 years.
Right.
And you got cap space to where if it's done correctly, then suddenly the Bears are like a competitor. Like they're competing for the NFC and maybe even the Super Bowl in the next 5 years if they do this correctly, like Ryan's talking about. I think there's a chance here. Last year they had all this cap room and they did some okay stuff with it.
Right.
They traded down, which I thought was smart. And I think it just took them half the season to kind of figure it out.
And again, thank you for that Chase Claypool trade where we got the 32nd pick and we took Joey Porter Jr. By the way, I want to let you both know Mitch Trubisky is available. So if you do, if you go,
we don't want him back.
He's there. You could draft him at number 2 again. You could redraft him.
Yeah, retrade up. That was
retrade up.
Genius by
And
Ryan
get
Pace.
Mitch Trubisky, worst name for a quarterback in the history.
Mitchell.
Get
Get it right. He doesn't want to be
right.
Mitch. He's Mitchell.
He was Mitchell, and he's a beloved Tar Heel of yours, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
You must have been like, oh my God, we're getting a Tar Heel. And
I didn't want him.
You didn't want him.
I didn't want him. I wanted the guy that we don't like to talk about in Cleveland.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, yeah, you're rubbing this one the wrong way. What? Massage. Okay, so let's talk about we love Vegas stories. We love celebrity stories. He teased me with who he's going to talk about. You worked at a hotel or something?
Yes.
So let me hear this story. I've been waiting for this.
So when I first moved, I moved to LA from Chicago when I was in my early 20s, and I got a job working at Shutter's Hotel.
Yeah. Very nice in Santa Monica.
Very high end, right on the beach. And my buddy had a AV. He was running the AV company, so it was a separate AV company. And my buddy is famous for saying I was the worst employee ever had.
That's great.
So this is a little backdrop on the story. In fact, he tells the story of and we met in this acting school, and so he had a thing for all these actors. He goes, look, it's flexible hours. I'll give you time on, to go do auditions and, because setting up AV, you come in the morning, you set something up, and then you can duck out and then tear it down. And he goes, he tells the story. He goes, man, I remember seeing. I didn't know you, Graham. You're the end of the table and you're like a suit and tie and you were like taking notes. I'm like, this guy's really sharp. And I told him later, I was just trying to make this girl next to me laugh. And I was like writing down dumb crap, like looking serious, like, oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I've been a stand-up comic since I was 18.
Right, exactly.
So I have no marketable skills.
There you go.
Okay, so
Same.
I don't know how to function in regular society. So I had this horrible suit, this like mismatched pants with this bad gray suit and probably like a knit tie or something really
the knit
awful.
ties, yes.
Classy.
Ann remembers the knit ties.
Bringing the 80s back in. Come on.
Ann and I are, what are we called? Twin flames. We have all the same, every reference and product we used. Anyway.
So my buddy, he's very knowledgeable about stuff. And there was a slow day and he goes, look, I got to go. He had to go on an audition or something. He goes, just stay in the office. If anybody needs anything, you know how to set up with basic stuff. I said, yeah, no problem. So this hotel, I mean, I saw Robert Duvall in this hotel. I saw Reagan in this hotel. Like, this is a 5-star A-list hotel. So we get a call from the concierge. Hey, one of our high-end clients needs some AV help.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So I go up into this suite, and this is the 90s. So the suites had VCRs in them.
VCRs were video cassette recorders, Ryan. It was a tape that you'd put in, and if you really liked something on that tape, you'd break the clip, and that couldn't be recorded over. That was a clip breaker.
Yeah.
All right, so okay.
It's good business. So I knew how to basically maybe do the clock on the VCR. And I found my buddy later told my buddy Walker goes, Graham, I just kept you around because you were funny. That was you were not good at your job. So they wanted to like record VCR to VCR or something. They had a tape, and I'm dealing with this man, and I'm in this suite is giant. It's beautiful.
Okay.
And they play the video, and it's an interview with Al Pacino, and I was like, oh wow, I know that guy.
Okay.
I was like, wow, I'm a young actor in LA. I'm like, oh, Al Pacino. All right. So I'm doing my best to fiddle to get this thing to working, and it's like maybe 10 minutes of me not fixing it, not solving the problem, and I slowly. And as I'm doing this, I look over my shoulder and I see that Al Pacino has been watching us the entire time. So I'm really like, I gotta fix this. And I finally am like, and I say to myself, I'm like, dude, you can't. And I was just like, so, and I had to be, I'm so sir, I'm sorry. I'm to his manager, and I'm like, sir, we really tried. I go, my manager will be in later. If you want to talk with him, we can try to. And he goes, okay. And then Pacino goes, well, you tried.
That's the best. Oh my God. Hoo-ha, you tried. Oh my God.
And then as I'm walking out, it's such a long walk.
It's a huge
It's
suite.
a huge suite. I kind of hear him say, look, don't make a big deal, but make a little bit of a fire. This should have been handled right. And I was like, oh, great. Now I'm going to get a call. And then my buddy gets the call from the concierge. No one's like mad. I'm not fired, but
okay.
And he goes, all right, thanks, Graham. You could have made the AV department look good, but you didn't. All right. I was like, what? This is not what I do.
And this is why Al Pacino has never stayed at Shutters in Santa Monica again. He's like, you can't get a tape made. Stop wasting my time. I can't do an Al Pacino. You do impressions.
I don't do impressions.
If you can't do a VCR to VCR, take a flamethrower to this place.
Take a flamethrower. Hoo-ha. And do your Pacino. There you go. And see how Ann played along? You're the star of the show now. Give us one hoo-ha. What the hell's that?
Nose goes.
What the? These kids today. What is this woke crap he's doing over here? Nose ghost? What?
Nose goes.
Nose goes?
Last one to do it has to do, whatever.
Yeah, it was in the movie Meatballs.
Do your
Bill
thing,
Murray came
man.
to the table.
I'm behind the
another
glass.
Chicago guy.
I like to keep to myself.
My God. Now, what are you doing in town? We're in Vegas here. You're in town filming something, and we want to talk about it.
I'm giving a seminar on how to do VCR to VCR recording, and come to.
So, how long is that seminar?
It's really long.
It's only $39.99, and you get a set of Anthony Robbins cassette tapes.
Yes, and I will have Al Pacino say, "Well, you tried.
Well, you tried."
I'm actually here doing man on the street interviews for this not-for-profit, nonpartisan organization called Open Primaries.
Okay,
and they are trying. Nevada is one of about 19 or 20 states where if you're not registered with either of the two parties, you can't vote in the primaries.
That's crazy, yeah.
Which is nuts in this day
really
and age. We shouldn't. And so the two parties control the election system, and so Open Primaries just wants to give voters access. Right. Nevada has a ballot measure 3 this November. So I'm urging people to vote yes on 3. And we're just interviewing independents.
Yeah.
And just like, why are you an independent? Because when the media tries to put everyone into this little red box
Sure.
or this blue box.
Right.
And you talk to independents and they're all over the place. They're
Right.
like, yeah, I'm in favor of hunting because I like hunting with my dad, but I'm pro-choice because I don't want the government near my wife.
Right. Okay.
And they're like, and it's really interesting. And nobody talks to independents.
Right.
They just need them like, hey, you're an independent. Will you vote yes or no for this
Right.
red or blue issue or
Correct,
red
yeah.
or blue candidate? So we're really trying to just talk to. So I'll be at the Bellagio with a camera crew
Whoa.
today from 4 to 6.
Okay.
And come by, and we want to hear what you have to say. There's no
That's
wrong
awesome.
answers, and it's really cool. Open primaries, openprimaries.org. Check them out.
And also one of the propositions that's on the ballot is legalized gambling in Nevada. We want to try to get that.
Yeah, we've been
We
fighting
wanna
that one
try
for a
to-
long
yeah,
time.
And sports gambling. It's been New Jersey's kind of stealing. We got to get gambling.
There's
here.
a big lobby here to block gambling. So
What? We'd be out of a job. And how can people find you? I know you got. I know you have a website.
yes, go to GrahamElwood.com.
Right.
You can get all my social media, and all my social media is at Graham Elwood.
Right.
You can see my special, manifest it. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can get links to see government secrets.
Yeah, that. I want.
Dude,
I
you'll
wanna
love
check that
it.
out. Yeah.
You'll love it. We just every week, Lee and I bring up a thing that we always blow the other guy's mind, like what, and then we make jokes about it because we're
I
comics.
love it. And who wins the Super Bowl? Give us your Super Bowl prediction. It's right down the street. It's
I know.
6 miles from here. We have the Super Bowl. Craziness is going to start. We have some media passes for myself and Jeff and Alex to go to some events, which we'll obviously bring here and show on the show.
I think the Niners beat Baltimore.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Now, if they win, if the Niners win, that's 6 Super Bowls. They would tie the Steelers and Patriots. I don't really want that, but I can't have the Ravens win. I hate the Ravens. That's like the Packers to you Bears fans.
I know.
Green Bay.
Not close.
I think you've got. Look, we've got.
Not close.
Not close.
The rivalry. Well, okay, you guys have been around a lot longer, right? Okay, fine.
Yeah,
But you have 1 ring. We have 6. But anyway, so I can't root for the Ravens.
NFL championships, we have 10.
Yeah, no one cares about those. Do you ever notice that? How no one knows that?
the only people bring that up are Bears fans.
The Browns, the Lions, and Bears. That's who brings it up, and Washington fans. Although they have a lot of Super Bowls. Graham, by the way, just out of the blue, hit me up last week. Said, hey, I'm going to be in Vegas. I said, of course you're coming on. Talk Bulls, and the Al Pacino story is classic. So make sure you look up Graham Elwood. Please, trust me. Check out his All Things Comedy. It's on YouTube, his special, Manifest It.
Yes,
It's very funny. I watched it last night, and we hope to see you again. Anytime you're back, come back.
Well, you tried.
Well, you try. You did. Did you get laughs? Well, you tried.
Well, you tried.
You killed. That's. I love it. We'll be back in 2 minutes with Duane Colucci.
Colucci.
Right back.
Once you've satisfied your hunger, get ready for more of the hottest casino games in Vegas. Our 24-hour, 30-table non-smoking poker room proudly hosts all the most popular poker games with a variety of betting limits. Visit the poker room for a schedule of daily tournaments. Whether you're going to hold 'em or fold 'em, the best place for poker is at South Point Casino. You'll notice that our craps tables are usually the loudest in the casino. If you've never played, join one of our free craps lessons to find out what makes this game so exciting. Check with the craps dealer for schedules and give it a roll. Bingo is also an exciting way to spend your time. We offer 7 sessions of bingo every day. And each session includes a cash ball jackpot, 12 bingo games, a progressive double action game, and a $10,000 bonus coverall. Electronic units are available. If you haven't played bingo with us, give it a try today. Guests can also get in on the action at our one-of-a-kind race and sports books. 2 separate rooms designed to maximize your experience and comfort. Our sports book, with over 400 seats, puts you right in the middle of the action, 24 hours a day. The friendly ticket writers are happy to help, and it's conveniently located next to the famous Del Mar Deli, where you'll find supersized portions of delicious deli items like roast beef, pastrami, and Reuben sandwiches, or soups, salads, and pizza, plus spectacular desserts fit for a king. And right next door is the race book, over 150 seats, each with its own TV screen. There are 16 interactive player terminals, so you can bet right from your seat.
Well, you tried. That when you can just hear Al Pacino saying that. I think at the end of an episode, that should be the little mic. That's a little soundbite. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the show. What did you think? Well, we tried. Let's take a few live comments here. The Ryan and Graham hour. Joey V. They're talking Chicago. Never seen him so energized and Ryan, wow. Joey B, you were very passionate. Well, you're talking about the Bears, right? You get into it, man. Tommy, you know who Danny Noonan is. Come on. He was the lead character in the movie Caddyshack.
Noonan cares.
What's that?
Noonan cares about Noonan.
Noonan?
No one cares. Okay.
Oh, no
I
one?
tried.
Well, he tried. Now do the Pacino and say, dude is Al Pacino. Oh, man. Man, that's bogus. Best story right there. Graham Elwood. What's the podcast title again? It's Government Secrets with Graham Elwood and Lee Camp. So there you go. Joey B's now a fan. So I'm going to check it out for sure. Old school versus new school. Love the banter and shtick. Thank you, Joey B. Tony Robbins is a motivational speaker. And Nevada caucus is really weird, Daniel Pacheco says. By the way, Daniel, are you related to Isaiah Pacheco, the toughest runner in the NFL? Punchlines, yeah, well, that's true. Trent Dilfer did want to say. Alex White last night, yeah, she was 1-2. That was the first time she's gone under 500 in a while, but we tell everyone secrets. Reveal all the records. Now, we just heard a great Al Pacino story. Let's bring in another Italian, shall we? Let's bring another Italian paisan down from the Rampart. Back again, he's the director down there at the Sportsbook at the Rampart, where the buffet is sparkles, baby. It's our man, Duane Colucci. Colucci. Duane, even when you'll
never let me die with that sparkle.
But it's just the way you said it. Our buffet sparkles. We're just in general, some days after shows and we're just talking meetings, and that word will come up, and we just Colucci's sparkles. We love it. You're one of our favorites. I think now this might be his record-setting appearance. It's going to go back and forth for a while, but Colucci, you might be our most regular guest, along with him and Kevin Belenkoff, who we have on. But I feel like Colucci will exceed that probably, since Kevin is mostly a football guy. So. Colucci, you're the star of the show.
I appreciate it.
Now, what hat do you have on there? Is that a Golden Knights hat?
Yeah, Golden Knights, yes.
All right,
yes.
so
that's an old school one, too.
Oh,
that's
I like
the
that.
Western champions.
Oh, the Western.
2018.
Old school.
Now, I went to the game the other night. It was my first game at T-Mobile. I saw the Penguins. Penguins are up 2-0. I had a bet with Ryan and Alex on the game, and I started talking crap. I was like, 2-0. You guys nervous? And then 1, 2, 3, game. So I lost. So on our 101st show, which is like around March 1st, I'm going to have to, it's 101 Dalmatians. I'm going to have to dress up as a Dalmatian, 101. So that's my penance for the Penguins losing. The Penguins are going to cause me to dress up as a dog.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
But anyway,
unbelievable.
That arena was unbelievable. I loved it. And I want to talk basketball with you real quick, because the story that happened right before we came on the air was the Milwaukee Bucks just fired their head coach, who's 30-13. And that seems weird. That seems a little bit weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, there had to be some squabbles in the locker room or some unrest, without a doubt. Yeah, because, I just don't understand when you're 30-13 how you pull the trigger. And they just basically got this guy. So, they're talking about Doc Rivers. They're talking about definitely the interim coach will be the assistant. But I can't figure it out. They're one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. Granted, they haven't clicked yet with Lillard and, the different, scenarios. And maybe they just felt ownership that they could do a lot better. I mean, the Celtics are still tough. Embiid, you saw him flex last night. Philly's right there. The Knicks are much improved since they got OG. So maybe they just wanted to shake things up. But I would say there had to be some player complaints or something like that, Frank.
Had to be. And I don't know if you heard this rumor, but Bill Belichick is rumored to be the next coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. He's flying to Milwaukee right now.
I wish he's the new coach of the Cowboys. I'll be honest with you. That's
Colucci, I wanted to get to it. I wanted to get to the Dallas Cowboys. Your team. They're keeping Mike McCarthy. They're keeping Mike. I see the headset. What do you think of this move? I mean, would you promote a Dan Quinn or found somebody else or maybe Belichick? I don't know.
Well, I don't think Quinn did a great job in that game. I'll be honest with you. The defense was the liability, and you look at them 2 wide open touchdowns that Green Bay was able to score, Frank. So I don't think that, Quinn was the answer without a doubt. I mean, McCarthy's a solid coach, but as long as Jerry's there, he's going to put pressure on, just like he did, prior to this big playoff game. After a great regular season, he's still putting pressure out there on his coaching staff, on his players, and they just don't seem to play with any heart. And You could see how Jimmy Johnson got so emotional, guys, at the halftime because he's an emotional coach, and that was the last time they won. And he knows how to motivate, and it's just so frustrating now as a Cowboy fan watching the complacency of the players. Dak Prescott, once again, did not perform in the limelight, and it's just the same old story for the Cowboys, without a doubt. It wasn't like your team, Frank, where at least you got some excuses. You're dilly-dallying with quarterbacks. No, definitely. And they did a phenomenal job, Pittsburgh, and continued the Tomlin streak. So definitely different when you have the number one offense going into the playoffs. You have Dak Prescott. You have fabulous wide receivers. You got a good running back in Pollard. Your defense is supposed to be right there. And just again,
yeah, it had to be tough. And we played a lot of fan videos, smashing TVs, throwing their jerseys out, which, again, I think it's a brilliant move because now all the Dallas stores are going to have to sell more merchandise, more TVs. So maybe it's a whole...
The best one I saw, Frank, on social media, the best one I saw was, remember that maniac 2 weeks ago that jumped the judge out here in Las Vegas? Yeah, they had Dak Prescott sitting there giving his press conference, and all of a sudden, you just saw that body fly out there. That was one of the best that I've saw on social media.
We don't want to make light of that criminal's actions, but...
No, not at all, not at all.
I did not see that. That's pretty funny. But what a wild finish for the Cowboys. Really unfortunate. Someone I think said the Detroit Lions have been to more AFC championships in the last 30 years, or NFC championships than the Cowboys now. So I don't know.
It's the truth. Yeah.
So what do you think of these lines right now? I know we have it around 6.5 or 7 at the Rampart and South Point. How do you feel about the Niners-Lions game? And then we'll talk Ravens-Chiefs.
Feel a lot better if Debo was healthy. I'll be honest with you. They didn't look too good against the Packers. And, it was very similar, the Packers, what they did to try to, beat the 49ers to what they did to the Cowboys. So I didn't see that San Francisco really flexed or played their best game yet. Kittle dropped a few passes. The defense was pretty solid, I will say that. But with Debo with the shoulder injury, that's huge. More pressure than on Purdy and McCaffrey. Going to be a great game. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think this is going to be one of the best matchups that we've seen in a few years. And definitely Detroit is hungry. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I can't believe how good this kid is. He definitely makes a difference. And you have some great players on that defensive side. Aiden's there. You just have some great, motivational tactics by the Detroit coaching staff as well when they go for it, on fourth down, or if they're going for 2-point conversions. Definitely they are well coached and ready for this game, and they proved that. And Jared Goff was making some beautiful passes this past weekend. So difficult game. We're sitting at 7 at the Rampart and South Point. We're going to see a lot of San Francisco money just because of the proximity of, how close we are to California. And definitely they love their 49ers. But I think the Lions could definitely compete here. This is a tough game, especially if Deebo Samuel is not healthy. That is going to be and play into the spread and the late betting action.
Yeah, that line's going to toggle, as Ryan was saying, and I think Chris Andrews was saying, it's going to toggle between 6.5, 7. Although, Ryan, was that the game you felt that the number would go which way?
Yeah, if the Niners adopt that underdog mentality, they could kind of fluctuate the line to go a higher, maybe to 8, 9.
Maybe.
If people believe that they'll be that fired up and not.
Now, Ann, our director, has told me we have some sort of video we want to show. We want to play. Is this the video? Is this the Dak Prescott? Here it is. Dak press conference. He's talking. And then he doesn't see him on the blind side. Larry Allen's. Again, it's a horrible
how a lot
thing.
Of Cowboy fans were feeling.
How did I miss that one, man? I just saw him smashing TVs mostly. That was and throwing jerseys in the snow and stuff like that. So let's look at the AFC game. I mean, the Bills. I wanted a Bills-Lions matchup, right? I wanted to see two teams that have never won the Super Bowl. But as we know, the logo is purple and it's red for Super Bowl 58 right down the street here in Vegas. So everyone's saying the number one seeds, the Ravens and the Niners. But in the AFC, do you give KC a chance on the road? I mean, Mahomes proved that he can win on the road, and they are the defending champs.
That color coordination has worked out for several years now,
right?
Frank, if you haven't noticed that.
It's nuts, yeah.
Definitely. I think, definitely the Chiefs have a chance. I mean, this is Patrick Mahomes. Pacheco's running hard. Kelsey started to play at the level we know that he could play at. So these are the world champions.
Yeah.
This guy is here and has all the experience in the world, whereas this is Lamar Jackson's first go at it, basically, his first extended playoff run. We know he had those contract squabbles and definitely a lot of different happenings, Frank. So, I don't believe that Baltimore is going to win this game as easily as a lot of people perceive it. We have it at currently 3.5 at the Rampart and South Point, and a total of 44.5. So, if Patrick brings his A game, he's so difficult to stop. You saw him beat the Buffalo Bills, who were they were running away with it basically towards the end of the season. Their winning streak was incredible, and people were loading up on Buffalo to win the Super Bowl, to win the AFC. But you see what happens. Same old Buffalo Bills. As good as Josh Allen is, he is not Patrick Mahomes, and that's why. Where is he Superman? Patrick Mahomes is Superman, or at least his Lex Luthor and Kryptonite. I mean, just another fabulous performance by the Chiefs, and to go on the road, they have to do it again. They're capable.
And that hook, I mean, the half point. I mean, you got two of the best kickers in the NFL. Right? With Tucker and Buckner. I always butcher his name, even though he won the Super Bowl.
Harrison Butker.
But I always mess up his last name. But I mean, I can see it coming down to, I see this as a 3-point game. I really like that half point with the Chiefs. Either way, I think the Chiefs could win by 3. I mean, it's going to be a good game. I obviously don't want to see the Ravens win. If it is the Chiefs and Detroit, that would mean the two starting quarterbacks' fathers, both at one time, played for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's right. Patrick Mahomes' dad, Pat Mahomes, played for a bunch of teams, played for the Pirates. And Jared Goff, who I didn't even know this till last week, his dad was Jerry Goff, was a catcher who played a handful of games for the Pirates in the early 90s. How crazy would that be if both of their kids made the Super Bowl, and it's all because of Pittsburgh, ladies? So anytime I can work it. Jerry's not here today. Jerry, it'll be a nightmare for Jerry.
Loves the pit.
I know.
Yes.
So
that's great.
I wanted to ask, do you have any celebrity encounter stories, maybe living in New York or Vegas? Maybe do you have a favorite celebrity encounter story that you can think of off the top of your head?
I've had several. There's so many, I can't really count them anymore. I'll be honest with you, Frank. I've rubbed elbows with great sports athletes, celebrities I've seen in restaurants, especially the stomping grounds that my dad, brought me up. He spoiled me, Frank. I mean, I was constantly in Peter Luger's Steakhouse, PJ Clark's in Manhattan, Rayo's. We had a table, once. It was amazing, to know Frank Pellegrino. And, I remember one night actually in Rayo's. That was great. One of John Bon Jovi was sitting at the table next to me, and a very great guy. I mean, he was so sociable. He was BSing with us, my whole family, and he was with a bodyguard, and the bodyguard obviously didn't know much about sports. And, he made a substantial sized wager with me that Eddie Murray was not a switch hitter. And, I was like, wow, come on, you got to know this. What are you talking about? And, lo and behold, Frank Pellegrino Sr. was there, Nicky DeVest, so I'm arguing back and forth. We make a nice wager. Lo and behold, I was definitely paying for dinner that night on somebody else. So it was awesome. And Bon Jovi signed autographs for everybody. I actually saw Mariah Carey when she was dating Tommy Mottola. That's when she was like in her infancy. Yeah, I saw them in Rayo's. So many different wrestlers used to hang out at PJ Clark's. So I would see all the great WWF wrestlers. I've met, like I said, Floyd Mayweather, Larry Holmes, so many different athletes. Tom Seaver, I told the story about. So another great night too, Frank, the best ever. We're moving to Las Vegas. So we had a meeting, my dad and a couple of guys from Brooklyn that we knew, and we had a meeting before we left, and we're eating at Luger's, and who's sitting at the table next to us? Rodney. I mean, the greatest experience of my life. You could ask my dad. He pulled his chair up in between me and my dad, and Frank, he just started. There was actually a table. There was a table of 15 guys that were like, you could tell they were a team of some sort, and they were European, and Rodney noticed them, and he's like, what do we got over here? 15 soccer players over here from Australia, and he's just reeling off the jokes and sat in between me and my dad. that. And just that was one of the greatest experiences of meeting a celebrity because he was just so sociable. You know, he's sitting there, he's like, hey, you know where I could get some joints, guys? I want to get high, you know. Rodney was the best, I'll tell you. He was just to start ripping these jokes and BSing with us. It was a great time, Frank. And that was at Peter Luger's in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I went up after him one night at a comedy club in L.A. He came up to me afterwards, hey, funny kid. And that's like, you know, that's like getting a blessing from the Pope, you know. I mean, Rodney told me I was funny. So that was the best. So listen, I brought in Matt Neverett, who co-hosts Sports by the Book on Mondays and Tuesdays now. And he's going to talk about what he's got coming up on the show today. But I was wondering if you had a pick for all our viewers out there, because I don't think you've given off. You gave us, the last one was, I think, the Devils.
Right.
Maybe. And
correct.
If you don't have anything, you don't have to. I don't need to force one. But I was just wondering if there's something our viewers could look at.
We got some huge NHL matchups tonight. I'm looking for Montreal to get a little payback on Ottawa tonight. They played Ottawa last week, and it was in a back-to-back situation, and Ottawa got the better of Montreal. You'll get Jake Allen in between the pipes tonight. I'm looking at that line. Ottawa actually in the Bell Center is minus 145 at the Rampart in South Point, and I can't figure that out. I mean, I definitely think the Canadians have played some excellent games, in the past month where they've improved. So I definitely think they have a chance. Patrick Roy is now the coach of the New York Islanders.
That? And he won his first game. He was
let's see.
Yeah.
I like
awesome,
it, Frank. I mean, let's see what happens now. Vegas Golden Knights going into Brooklyn, Elmont, actually, Belmont Park. And I definitely think that the Vegas Golden Knights might get the better of them tonight. The Vegas Golden Knights played at a level of their competition. We're so banged up right now, Frank. Eichel's out. Aiden Hill will return, though, tonight. And that's definitely the man we want to see between the pipes. So I'm going with the Vegas Golden Knights, Montreal Canadiens. Those are some of my favorites. I mean, the Rangers look like a lock tonight in San Jose, but how do you lay 350?
Is it? What is it? Is it really?
You got to lay puck line there.
Oh my God,
you have to lay puck line there. That's 350 on the road and probably 170 on the puck line. So, definitely they are a much better team. Igor Shesterkin will shut down San Jose.
All right. Well, just stick around for 1 minute. I got Matt Neverett here. Matt, what's coming up today on Sports by the Book?
Well, first off, great to see you, Duane.
Yeah.
Longtime buddy of mine.
Definitely, Matt.
The Rampart. He's
Welcome
the only Las Vegas bookmaker I know that actively cheers for the Golden Knights. Usually every bookmaker I know is with so much public money coming in on him, rooting against him every single night. But we're going to open with some college basketball, maybe some futures. Took a look at some of the updated lines before I came on with you. Obviously, talking NFL, we got some player props that we like. And
Love it.
The Wizard of Odds himself joins. Kenny White is going to stop by.
He'll be here. Nice.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And he may or may not have a couple of picks for us today.
And by the way, futures bet, I'm going to go ahead and just take a look at this line. Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh. I put $10 on them at plus 2,000. So I could win $2,000. They were plus 200 to win the national championship. They beat Duke in Duke. And Hinson was 7-7. The kid was on fire.
You know what they call that type of bet?
What's that, a sucker bet?
A donation.
A donation. Yeah, I made a donation.
There's a reason guys like Duane make a great business out here. Yeah.
Definitely.
I
actually put a few bucks down on Seton Hall because I thought there was a little value there. Because St. John's, I'm seeing at most shops are 175 to 1, and Seton Hall beat them last week. Lost a tough game against Creighton. I'm seeing Seton Hall at about 300, anywhere from 300 to 200 to 1. So definitely put a few bucks on that. You never could tell. It's wide open this year.
Yeah, and Alex was talking about Kentucky. She was keeping an eye on, right, as a futures. I don't know what.
Yeah. Kentucky's.
I'm seeing them at 10 right now.
10.
Updated behind us.
It's down to 10.
They beat Georgia the other night. We talked after our show yesterday, and that number dropped precipitously. Same with Kansas. We were both looking at Kansas, and it dropped from like 20 to 1 to they're now 10 to 1 as well.
Now, Kansas didn't cover last night.
That's a donation.
Right, that's a donation. Well, Ryan, you're a big North Carolina fan. In North Carolina, they handled that line very easily last night.
Yeah, like I said on Sports by the Book, as long as R.J. Davis scores 25 plus, they should be able to cover any number. But he dropped a career-high 36 points last night, and so they covered easy.
UNC hasn't had a All-American, first-team All-American guard in like 20-something years. He might be the first since then.
Wow. All right, this is the kind of stuff you can hear on Sports by the Book coming up in 2 hours with Matt Neverett. Matt Neverett's now the regular host of the show on Mondays and Tuesdays. We got to give Jeff Parles days off. We just can't work him 7 days. The show has expanded to 7 days. What a power-packed show we had. My friend, comedian Graham Elwood. Make sure you check out Graham Elwood's special on YouTube. The website is All Things Considered on YouTube, and his special is called Manifest It. I know a couple people were asking about his his podcast. It was called Government Secrets with he and Lee Camp, Graham Elwood and Lee Camp. And by the way, Daniel Pacheco thinks Punchlines with Ryan McCormick. He thinks that's a good name for the show. Is that you? Are you Daniel Pacheco, Ryan? Is that you texting?
Yeah,
We found his burner, yeah.
My
We found
burner,
his
just
burner,
like our other burner that we know of.
No, yeah, well, yeah. All right, listen, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
All day, yeah.
Why did I think it was Friday? Tomorrow's Hump Day.
Yeah.
And we have on the show tomorrow, we have some people coming on.
We've got Alex White for sure.
Alex White will be here. We know that. And by the way, it's Alex White's birthday tomorrow. So
Yes, it
everyone,
is.
make sure you think of something nice for the comment section tomorrow for Alex. We'll read some birthday messages, but happy birthday, Alex, tomorrow. Duane Colucci, I think our record-setting performance. He gave you a few picks. Colucci, thank you as always for being here. Matt and Everett, in 2 hours, will be hosting Sports by the Book with Ryan as a producer, not as the host. It's Punchlines with Frank
Never a
Nicotero.
host.
Lines, live in Nevada, every show with me, Frank Nicotero.